Hello everyone and welcome back. We will be starting Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper this evening. So, hope you're all doing well. Alright. Yeah, everything should be good. I said everything already. So let's start a new... Ooh, look at that, a bloody knife. Watch out, Holmes, he's gonna get you. Alright, new game, yes. Oh. Looking out the window.
In the name of my health and yours, Holmes, stop smoking so much. There is more fog in our apartment than in the street.
You are right, Watson, but this evening is never ending, and I have nothing to do but make smoke rings. A more amusing pastime would suit better, but my doctor is against it.
Perhaps a little tune
Wow.
on the violin.
My heart is not in it tonight, Watson. Have you noticed how this cigarette burns? Would you not say it is like a life being consumed? How many lives will end tonight in London? How many crimes will be committed within the life of a single cigarette? Ah, the vanity of existence. It is but complaints and smoke.
The tobacco is giving you very somber thoughts. I am certain that this inactivity will not last.
Oh, there's no image. Let's see here. Properties. Select this. Now that I have the correct game selected for the screen capture, there we go.
Reason speaks. Let's to bed.
Oh, this is weird being in first person for the cutscene. Also, Sherlock's awful mopey emo-y tonight, isn't he? Frogwares presents a new adventure of Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. Oh. We're down at the docks or something? Where are we? Well, there's that hobo that says he's a secret wall. London. I'm not sure what the first part of that says. 31st of August, 1888, 3:20 a.m. Oh, there's a lady of the night. They're definitely trying to be more cinematic with this one. Oh boy.
Come this way, my lovely. We'll have a right good time. Wait, let me help you. Oh, it's my hair that pleases you.
What the hell? Baker Street, September 1st.
The news is as dark as the sky, Holmes. An inquest has been opened into the murder of a poor woman in the East End. The unfortunate girl was discovered last night, lying in the street, still warm. The murderer was filled with an incredible savagery. Oh, the article gave me shivers down my spine. The inspectors in charge of the case don't seem to have even the slightest lead. A similar murder took place less than a month ago.
Uh-oh.
Ah, love. A romantic walk, a kiss in the moonlight, a polite refusal, a terrible anger, and a hanging.
This area of Whitechapel is a disgrace to London. The government should take serious note of what is going on there.
Whitechapel? This woman was found in Whitechapel?
Yes, indeed. Bucks Row, to be specific.
Then it was not a question of romance, but of commerce. Unless these women actually take pleasure in the vice, the female nature is completely...
Holmes, do you hear yourself? A woman is dead under unspeakable circumstances. No less than any other, she was a human, and one of Her Majesty's subjects. None of these streetwalkers of which you speak have any other way to survive but by selling their bodies. You know as well as I that our era is not a gentle one, and these women don't have much to look forward to. Some grace, if you would. Do not refuse them your compassion.
Do not say another word, my dear Watson. We shall leave immediately for Whitechapel.
To the scene of the crime?
No, I think it would be better to arrive there a bit later once night has fallen. At the moment, the spot will be overrun by police officers and spectators. It will be impossible to investigate properly.
Then where are we going, Holmes?
The best thing to do would be to head to the police station and attempt to get a copy of the preliminary reports.
But the article in the Star seemed quite complete to me.
You must know, Watson, that journalists often draw conclusions from the facts without a proper understanding of how to do this delicate task. We must obtain the reports from the inspector in charge, as well as those from the coroner.
Very well, Holmes, but all the same.
It seems to me that I have a map of London somewhere, Watson. Can you find it and locate Whitechapel while I get ready?
You are too kind, Holmes. Searching through your mess?
Oh boy. The Star. Special edition, The Whitechapel Horror. The third crime of a man who must be a maniac. Oh boy. Women lured to the by streets to be butchered. The latest victim identified. Opening of the inquest. Great local excitement. The victim of the latest Whitechapel horror, the woman who was found yesterday morning in Bucks Row, completely disemboweled and with her head nearly gashed from her body, was for a time completely unknown. As the news of the murder spread, however, first one woman and then another came forward to view the body, and at length it was found that a woman answering the description of the murdered woman had lodged in the common lodging house, 18 Throll Street, Spitalfields. Women from that place were fetched, and they identified the deceased as Polly, who had shared a room with 3 other women in the place. On the usual terms of such houses, nightly payment of 4d, which each woman having a separate bed, it was gathered that the deceased had led the life of an unfortunate while lodging in the house, which was only for about 3 weeks past. Nothing more was known of her by them, but that when she presented herself for her lodging on Thursday night, she was turned away by the deputy because she had not the money. She was then the worse for drink, but not drunk, and turned away laughing, saying, "I'll soon get my doss money. See what a jolly bonnet I've got now." She was wearing a bonnet which she had not been seen with before, and left the lodging-house door. A woman of the neighborhood saw her later, she told the police, even as late as 2:30 on Friday morning in Whitechapel Road. Oh, here we go. Whitechapel Road, opposite the church and at the corner of Osborne Street, and at 3:45 she was found within 500 yards of the spot murdered. The people of the lodging-house knew her as Polly, but at about 7:30 that last evening, a woman named Mary Ann Monk, at present an inmate of Lambeth Workhouse, was taken to the mortuary and identified the body of that Mary Ann Nicholas, also called Polly Nicholas. She knew her, she said, as they were intimates of the Lambeth Workhouse together in April and May last, the deceased having been passed there from another workhouse. On 12th May, according to Monk, Nicholas left the workhouse to take a situation as servant at Ingleside Wandsworth Common. It afterwards became known as that Nicholas betrayed her trust as domestic servant by stealing £3 from her employer and absconding. Wow, which... Hello, night paper! Paper, these games take too damn long. They're not that long, paper. It's only about... Well, let's see, the last one took about... a month. I guess if you want to say a month is too long, maybe. How are you, night paper? Hope you're doing well. Let's see where it's... From that time, she had been wandering about. Monk met her, she said, about 6 weeks ago, went herself out of the workhouse and drank with her. She was sure the deceased was Polly Nichols, and having twice viewed the features as the body lay in a shell, maintained her opinion. There is a terribly significant similarity between this ghastly crime and 2 mysterious murders of women which have occurred in the same district within the last 3 months. In each case, the victim has been a woman of abandoned character. Each crime has been committed in the dark hours of the morning, and more important still, as pointing to one man. That man, a maniac, being the culprit. Each murder has been accompanied by hideous mutilation. In the second case, that of the woman Martha Turner, it would be remembered that no fewer than 30 stabs were inflicted. The scene of this murder was George Yard, a place appropriately known locally as the slaughterhouse. As in both other cases, there was in this not the slightest clue to the murderer. No one was known to have any motive for causing the woman's death. She was parted from her husband and had lived with a man named Turner, but the searching coroner's inquiry revealed nothing connecting either with the crime. It was fancied that some of her many wounds had been caused by a bayonet, and she was said to have been seen with a soldier shortly before her death. Some soldiers were paraded at the tower, and one was said to have been identified by a policeman as having been waiting about George Yard just about the time of the murder, but nothing came of it. The first murder, which strangely enough did not rouse much interest, was committed in Osborne Street. The woman in that case was alive when discovered, but unconscious, and she died in the hospital without recovering her senses. Consequently, she was unable to whisper a word to put the police on the track of her fiendish assailant, and her murder has remained a mystery. All 3 crimes have been committed within a very small radius, each of the ill-lighted thoroughfares, of which the women were decoyed to be foully butchered, are off turnings from Whitechapel Road, and all are within half a mile. The fact that these 3 tragedies have been committed within such a limited area, are so strangely alike in their details, is forcing on all minds the conviction that they are the work of some cool, cunning man with a mania for murder. Hello, River Glory. Boo! Yes, how are you, River? Welcome to the stream. There was no new light thrown on the case this morning. At 9 o'clock, the body of deceased was removed from the mortuary to an improvised operating room on the premises, and Dr. Ralph Llewellyn made a post-mortem examination. The object of the examination was to determine, if possible, the order in which the various cuts were made. It is evident from the cuts in the throat that the head was bent back by the murderer before the knife was used. Whether the other mutilation took place before or after death remains to be settled, as also the position in which the woman lay when the deed done. There are several questions of this kind which may throw light on the case, notably the small quantity of blood at the place where she was found, and the fact that there must have been much of it somewhere else. At present, clues to the murder are entirely lacking, and the location of the place where the deed was done was the first point necessary to establish. Well, my goodness. You can control Dr. Watson. To move in the game, just like the items you want to reach, double-click to make him run. Or go to first-person perspective and walk around like a normal human being with WASDA.
Holmes's experiment table. The Adventure of the Dancing Men. I remember it well.
River, you're doing good, and myself, I'm doing good as well, River, thank you.
Holmes's violin. He doesn't play nearly enough, if you ask me.
Okay, this message isn't going to go away until I do this, and then do this. Good, in this game you can change your playing perspective at will. Press R key or middle mouse button to switch to first person mode. Ha, excellent. You can use WASD keys to keep left mouse, or keep the left mouse button pressed to move your character in 3D mode. Pressing caps lock or left shift will make your character run. Press R or middle mouse again to come back to third person mode. Remember, you can change at any time in the game. Press space button for a dynamic help, and you will see accessible items from your current position. You can use this button for both perspective modes. Oh, look at that. Oh, fancy. Alright, what's this?
Treaty on Cornish, the Celtic dialect of Cornwall. And here, medieval pottery. How can Holmes possibly read such things?
Now it's time to start the game. Find the map on the table and click on it to take it to your inventory.
Holmes uses this old Persian slipper to hold his pipe tobacco.
It's rather odd.
Colonel Gordon, during the last adventure of the resident patient.
Yes.
This is the coal bucket in which Holmes keeps his cigars. What a funny idea. This is how Holmes stores his post. Thank goodness his clients don't see this.
Let's see. What else?
Have you found the map of London, Watson? Come, my friend, it can't be too far. Be sure to locate the police station in Whitechapel we must get to.
Understood, Holmes.
Do. Oh. My room? A smart coat. My writings. My wash basin. Very nice. Will it let me?
I have no reason to go that way.
No reason at all. Here's the map.
Of London. At last. Let's see. The district of Whitechapel.
Aha! Whitechapel. The police station. Marvellous.
I found the map, Holmes, and I was able to locate the Whitechapel police station.
Congratulations, Watson. Come, the game is afoot. You can read the article to me on the way.
Oh boy.
We have arrived, Watson, in Whitechapel.
Not very bright. And what cold! Brr, a typical London morning.
Come, Watson, let's find this police station.
You control Sherlock Holmes. Yay! Oh, look, an old school tricycle.
Well, this station isn't very well kept, I say.
It's a local outpost, Watson. The daily tasks that confront these constables are not the easiest, and they are poorly paid.
Hello, good man.
Gentlemen, welcome.
Hello, I would like to speak with the Chief Inspector, if you please.
Constable Humphreys here. I am the only one in at the moment. What do you want with the chief?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I am...
Sherlock Holmes? The detective that I read about in the papers? Well, that's a treat, that is. You come about the Buck Road case, have you?
Indeed, we...
Not at all. We were just passing by chance. You say that there was a crime recently.
You don't know? You must be the only folk in London who haven't heard.
It won't be long until you find the culprit, no doubt.
Nothing is less certain. Suspects, 0. Clues, 0. It's not good for us, especially not in this district.
River, how dare Holmes keep books that have helped him in his investigations? Right?
Listen, this isn't what I came here for, but if I can be of service, in a confidential capacity, of course, if you can entrust me with a copy of the preliminary reports, I could study them and return later with my conclusions.
It's just that these are official documents. I can't take a decision like that without the inspectors.
The sooner we know the facts in the file, the sooner we can be of help, my friend.
Say, if you are Sherlock Holmes, you can find anything, isn't that true? With your magnifying glass, footprints?
My performance is often embellished by my biographer.
Oh, good. Good. I will give you the reports, but could you do me a small favour first? During my rounds, I dropped a leather folder containing some papers. Nothing of importance, but it's a big mistake. I would go looking for it myself, but I am stuck here on duty. I must have lost it near the seedy boarding house not far from here. Left when you leave the courtyard and left again in the lane. Perhaps you could go, ask around.
We shall see what we can do.
All right. Searching for lost papers.
Are we going to go look for these documents?
Why not? It'll give us an occasion to take a tour of the district, Watson.
Yes, quite. Baby carriage, stroller. Okay. He said left and left again. Wait. Must have lost some steam road not far from here. Left when you leave the courtyard and left again in the lane. Okay. Can I talk to people?
Or without money, we can't do nothing.
All right. This way? Perhaps?
Pardon me, but can you give me some information?
If it's to file a complaint, you should go to the station.
All right, thanks for nothing, jerk. Oh, this isn't it. This isn't it at all.
I have no reason to go that way.
Okay, we have no reason to go that way, Watson. The wasp's nest? Scuff, 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 scuff. Shh. Aha.
You're in a rush, my pretty? Come, I'll have you done so quickly you'll only have time to pay.
Okay. There's a red light district. Over here? My paper. Ooh, you know who you're going to? Oh boy, paper.
Whitechapel Street. The Whitechapel Church. The clock is wrong.
Oh, go figure.
I have nothing to ask.
What are we doing, Holmes?
Wandering, madam. Closed. I'm good and lost. Donovan Brothers, the noted house for paper bags. No. River, a lot of women and children in the area. Yeah? Most of the women are
no
probably...
reason to go that way.
Alright, we don't have no reason to go that way. I imagine most of the women are working and the children are probably theirs.
Excuse me, my good man.
Nasty weather, eh?
Paper, great way to start the game. Lost? Yes. That's usually how I do start these games, Paper.
Bucks Row.
That's... Oh, wait. Did he say Bucks Row? No, the seedy boarding house. Wow. The seedy boarding house. Oh, what's this?
A gathering, Holmes. And policemen. Let's go see, perhaps.
No, Watson. We have some business to take care of, and we are better off remaining discreet.
Alright. Yeah, no. Fuck you, Watson. I'm not doing it. Well, at least we're getting... Let me look at the map real quick. There's no local map? Baker Street, Whitechapel, and then we don't get any closer. Well, fine.
Excuse me, my good man.
I was in Crimea, I was, sir, and you owe me some respect.
Right. Okay. 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 Dispensary. Where? Oh, where? Ooh. Invisible gates.
Whitechapel Street.
Clever. Wait, what was that? Oh. Just some discoloration on the wood. Nothing important. Beggar. Alright. Oh! Hello.
You're in a rush, my pretty? Come, I'll have you done so quickly you'll only have time to pay.
Uh-huh. Must be a specialty of the area.
Closed.
Haha, look at that shitty horse walk. It's great horse animations. What do you mean? Okay.
Burner Street.
Burner Street. It's not really helping.
Burner Street.
I knew that already, but okay. The Working Men's Club. Oh, here's the wasp nest again.
Burner Street.
Thanks, Holmes.
Burner Street.
Damn, a dead end. Oh, I'm gonna have to go back to... Hey. There's no help in this game. Oh, I'm screwed. I rely on that way too much. Well, I guess let's go back to the police station and try doing this again. Wait, where was the now I don't remember where that was. It's over here.
Commercial Street.
It's right there. Okay. Okay. Now, he said it's left when you leave the courtyard and left again in the lane. Perhaps you go ask around. Oh, okay. So this is the courtyard. So left, and then left again in the lane. Oh, wouldn't that be this? Maybe over here? It's a lot of debris and garbage and crap. Hello.
Good day, sir. You wouldn't happen to have seen a leather folder on the ground around here, would you?
Good day, gentlemen. Finley, caretaker of this building. Here to serve. And yes, less than an hour ago. But some of the local urchins picked it up and God only knows where it might be now.
That's unfortunate. This police bag contained documents that the local police will miss.
You're inspectors?
Not at all. I am Dr. Watson, and this is Sherlock Holmes, the detective.
Sherlock Holmes, the great detective.
Oh, well.
You must be here about last night's murder. Have you discovered the identity of the poor woman?
Indeed, I'd only to read the papers.
Mine is dated from this morning, and it does not say who it is.
I'm not really engaged in this case, but if I can help the police, I will do so willingly.
Oh, to be sure. I've been told that Inspector Aberline is in charge. A very capable man.
Aberline? No.
So, according to you, I have no chance of finding this folder then.
Indeed. But I, on the other hand, should be able to find it. Do me a favour in exchange.
Oh,
A
jeez.
vagrant comes almost every night to sleep in one of the nooks not far from my windows. He coughs, howls, sometimes even sings. He's quite hefty and I don't dare approach him. I've lost 3 tenants because of him. If it's you who speaks to the police, they will take this matter more seriously. Tell them about the captain. They'll know who you're talking about. In the meantime, I'll find your police bag.
Okay. The Star. The East Londoner Advertiser. Another Whitechapel mystery. Horrible murder in Buck Row, Whitechapel. I'm not reading another article
Let's
right
go
now.
to the police station.
Come, Watson. Let's go tell the police that there's a man sleeping by a window. I'm sure they'll get right on it.
So, gentlemen, have you found my police bag?
Not quite yet. Do you know a vagrant who goes by the name of the Captain?
Captain? Yes, an old sailor, strong as a Turk and tattooed from head to toe. The drink has turned him into a derelict.
He appears to be causing some problems for the caretaker of the building at the end of the street.
What do you want us to do? Every night, stairwells, halls and porches become public dormitories, and people don't only come to sleep. I believe this man has a niece who puts him up sometimes. Her lodgings are in Commercial Street, right after the alley with the boarding house. You won't forget my folder, will you?
Do you believe this woman
So
will
helpful.
agree to have her uncle stay with her?
No idea. Oh well, let's go see her just the same.
I love when the game's like, hey, you know, you want to solve a murder mystery and track down Jack the Ripper? Why don't we make you do a bunch of little bullshit things to pad out the game first? Oh well. Could be worse. Look, there's a knife and blood. What could this mean? Dialogues, documents, notes, the map. Well, at least now I know where the boarding house is. Alright, where are we going? This man puts up with her lodgings. Excuse me. Are in Commercial Street, right after the alley with the boarding house. Commercial Street. Okay. Right past the alley. So, here? Here.
There. This is where the niece of the Captain must live.
And that must be the niece of the captain. Hello?
Good day, miss. Would you happen to be the niece of the man known as the Captain?
Oh, yes, that would be me. What has he done this time? He isn't... Oh, my God. I'm on my way.
Your uncle.
Miss, we have come to ask if you could have your uncle come live with you. He sleeps under the windows of a boarding house, causes the caretaker no end of problems.
I know. I've lodged him for a while, and he was the same here. My landlord made me kick him out. I'm ashamed, you know. I never should have, given the state of his health. He coughs day and night.
There might be a way to calm his cough. I am a doctor. I could examine him.
He went to see a doctor at the clinic. But the medicine costs too much. I can hardly pay my rent.
We will see to it. Where might your uncle be found?
I don't know. He must be in the vicinity, but I don't know exactly where.
But yeah, let's just ignore the screams in the background when we have this conversation, shall we?
We will find him.
Holmes, this is serious. Find an alcoholic in Whitechapel? A needle in a haystack would be easier.
Come, dear doctor, let's trust to our lucky star. Moreover, we also have our informers, remember?
Are you referring to those brats to whom you are always giving charity?
Exactly, my secret police.
Haha.
Some of them surely roam in this area. It suffices to find them.
That's one of the little blighters now.
Hello, young man. How are you?
I recognize him. It's the lad who sells newspapers, who is always calling outside our windows at Baker Street. early in the morning.
Hello, Mr. Holmes. It's a treat to see you again. What can I do?
Would you happen to know an old sailor who goes by the name of the Captain? A poor man who hits the bottle a bit hard.
Of course, Mr. Holmes. He's there at the end of the street. Round to the left he is. But be careful. He can be a tough customer, that one.
Very good, my young man. The doctor will give you a little something. Watson?
Huh? I say, Holmes?
Is he always such a skinflint with you, Mr. Holmes? Well, thanks to you, Mr. Holmes. Anytime you need me.
Wow.
Batty Street.
Batty? Paper, so what are you doing what am I doing tomorrow? I'm not sure.
I can hear someone coughing more than is natural, Holmes.
Yes, Watson. The poor man cannot be too far away.
Here he is.
If, in order to listen to us, this man imposes as condition that we find his pet cockroach, there will be another murder in Whitechapel today, Watson. Yours.
State
He
of
is
the
in a
captain.
critical state, Holmes. He has barely a month left.
Is there a way, dear doctor, to ensure that this last month passes in silence?
Really, Holmes, sometimes you... Oh, really? I will make note of some medicine to get immediately that will relieve his pain.
Very well. I will locate an apothecary or a clinic.
River, same thing he does every night. Try to take over the world. I'd have to go... Wait, I'm going to an apothecary now? A dead end. Ah, the clinic. Haha.
This building is a clinic.
Hello? Oh, hello, doctor.
Good day, sir. Dr. Gibbons. You aren't from around these parts.
Indeed, doctor.
Narf.
It is for someone from your neighborhood that I am here, though. His doctor asked that I acquire some medicine on his behalf. I have the note here.
Dr. Watson? Not from round here neither. This medication is quite dear. Certain documents are necessary to obtain them for free.
I don't have it. You'll have to accept my spare change. Will it be enough?
Enough to relieve your patient for a month. Would you like me to make this prescription available after that time?
According to Dr. Watson, that won't be necessary.
The possibility of a recovery?
A definitive one, yes.
There, sir.
Thank you. It's rather quiet here.
An unusual chain of events. The majority of the people hereabouts went out last night to see the great fire at the warehouse. The patients that I was minding and my staff were no exception. The former were dramatically healed, and the latter ended up sick. And with the murder last night, most of the people who weren't working wandered over to the scene of the crime. Their little aches and pains will wait until tonight or tomorrow.
A squalid murder, it would seem.
Just like what this area has become.
My thanks, Doctor.
Not at all.
Paper, did you hear they got a remaster? It's sent for Animaniacs where in Stanley to the Max. Yeah, I heard that there's going to be a new Animaniacs that got renewed for a new series. And it's going to be on Hulu starting next month, I think. I'm looking forward to it. Alright, let's map our way back to Watson. Where was Watson? Here. Aha! Watson.
Find the medicine, Holmes. We must make haste.
Right. Here you go.
Here is the medication, Watson. Is our man movable?
He should be able to stand in a few minutes and will no longer be suffering from his cough before long.
Consider the affair resolved. Accompany him to his niece's while I return to the boarding house, and then join me at the police station. Let's return to the boarding house.
To the boarding house. River, you're happy they're coming back, your childhood. Yes, I am also happy it's coming back. Something I have to admit I never expected. Hello.
I have good news for you, Mr. Finley. We have sent a captain to stay with a relative, and he shouldn't bother you for a while.
I also have some good news. I have your police bag.
Thank you. I bid you good day.
Oh, it was nothing. Tell me, one of my wife's friends lost...
Another day, Finley. Another day.
Yeah.
Let's go to the police station.
Piss off. I'm done being a gopher for all you down and outs. Excuse me.
Are you sure it's the police bag that you lost?
Yes, but someone attempted to force it open. They didn't succeed, but now the lock is stuck. Perhaps you could...
Let's see.
Oh, look. A lock puzzle. Let's see. 135246. Okay. 1, 3, and 5. 2, 4, and 6. Okay. What? 1, 2, 3. I have no idea what I'm doing. Where's the help button? I need the help button. No. Well, isn't this just alright? Bother. Oh, brother. I missed my little hint button. It was so helpful. Well... Oh, bother. Paper, yeah, you can't wait. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't make any sense. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so I turn this and put it. I turn this one, puts the 2 here. But if I turn this one, it takes the 2 and puts it here, which means that there's no longer a 2 up here. Oh, so I can switch the numbers around the dot. Oh, oh, what? 1, 3. Give me the 2. 2, 1, 2. So this says I need to get the 3 here then? I guess? Three. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, but then I did the 4 there, the 5 there, and the 6 there? Oh, bother. I don't know what I'm doing. Excuse me. Alright, I'm just gonna cheat. Well, I'm gonna look up the guide, because normally there's a guide in the game that I can check for hints. Let's see. Sherlock Holmes v. Jack the Ripper. Not videos, not reviews, not pictures. Walkthrough. There we go. that a good one? That's the one that showed up. Let's check this out. Oh my. Alright, so... Open the police bag. Okay. Take the police tag from the table. Turn the bottom right wheel 2 times. Turn the bottom left wheel 2 times. Turn the bottom right wheel once. Turn the bottom left wheel twice. Turn the top wheel twice. Read in documents Dr. Henry Williams' preliminary report in the death. Plaintiffs go to the scene. Okay. Yep. It does. It gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Unfortunately, can I reset the code? Is this reset? Maybe. Alright, so. Turn the bottom right wheel 2 times. 1, 2. Turn the bottom left wheel. That was the left wheel. I'm an idiot. 1, 2. 1, 2. Turn the bottom right wheel twice. Turn the bottom left twice. Turn the bottom right wheel once. 1. Turn the bottom left wheel twice. 1, 2. Turn the top wheel twice. 1, 2.
All done.
Ah!
A big thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Think nothing of it, my friend.
The reports.
So, the reports.
Why don't you wait till the inspectors get back? You would certainly learn more.
If I wanted to meet the inspectors, I would have done so. So, give me the preliminary reports, and above all, do not mention my visit to anyone. Is that clear?
Sure, if that's what you want. Here are the reports.
Thank you.
Thank you. Death of Polly Nicholas, 31st October 1888. Autopsy report by Dr. Henry Llewellyn, surgeon. Her throat had been cut from left to right, 2 distinct cuts being on the left side, the windpipe, gullet, and spinal cord being cut through. A bruise apparently of a thumb being on the right lower jaw, also one on the left cheek. The abdomen had been cut open from the center of the bottom of the ribs along the right side, under the pelvis to the left of the stomach. There the wound was jagged. The otum, or coating of the stomach, was also cut in several places, and 2 small stabs on private parts, apparently done with a strong-bladed knife, supposed to have been done by some left-handed person, death being almost instantaneous. Wow. Dang.
Have you obtained the preliminary reports?
Yes, we'll read them on the go. Let's to the scene of the crime at Bucks Row, Watson.
Bucks Row, here we come. Ba-dum. Alright, Watson.
But what are all these people doing here, Holmes?
Apparently, they came to see the scene of the crime.
What about us? Aren't we going to see it?
We will return this evening, Watson. The circumstances should be ideal for carrying out our little experiments.
Later.
Well, Watson, we are at the scene of the Polly Nichols murder. Imagine the victim lying at the spot where she was found and try to discern all of the clues we can. Watson, you are a writer. I am therefore entrusting you with our deduction board. It will help us to establish certain facts.
Understood, Holmes.
Oh.
The body was lying on its back, legs straight and slightly apart. The skirt had been lifted up to the middle of the body. The left hand was touching the barn door.
What? What am I doing? Okay. Oh, there's a help button. You must deduce the facts based on the observations that you made at the crime scene. Click on an observation on the left side of the screen and position it in one of the spaces in the center. Boxes containing an arrow appear on the screen. By clicking on an arrow, 3 possible deductions will display. You must choose one. Once all the facts on the right side of the screen have a green outline, your deduction work on the murder at hand will be over. I what now? 3 possible deductions will display. You must choose one. Once all the facts on the right side of the screen have a green outline, your deduction work on the murder at hand will be over. I what now? 3 possible deductions will display. You must choose one. Once all the facts on the right side of the screen have a green outline, your deduction work on the murder at hand will be over. I what now?
The body was still warm. Let's reread the preliminary report for the details on the wounds inflicted upon this poor woman.
The murder cut open Polly Nicholas's throat.
The body was still warm. No marks on the ground. The ground is muddy. There is a black bonnet near the left hand. Let's look at this poor woman more closely. There's a bruise on the left cheek. The throat was slit from left to right. There are 2 incisions. A small pool of blood, 6 inches in diameter.
River, a ghost! Yes. We're using the power of our minds.
The tongue is swollen. There is a bruise at the level of the right maxilla.
Let's see anything else. No. No. So that's about it. All right. Oh my goodness, what am I doing here? So... Wait, what? Why is there all this up here? 1 of 2. 2 of 2. What? Click on observation on the left side of the screen and position it in one of the spaces in the center. Okay. A little pool of blood. Black bonnet. Damp and dirty ground. Could not. Okay, damp and dirty ground. He could not have had relations on the ground. The murderer threw water on the ground. There were relations on the ground. He could not have had relations on the ground. A little pool of blood. The blood spurted. The blood didn't flow in strong spurts. The murderer wanted to drain the victim of her blood. Maybe? Alright, and then... No footsteps on the ground. Corpse was warm. No footsteps on the ground. And the murderer cut open Polly's throat. The victim was dumped. Ooh. Let's see. Bruises. The victim has a bruise on her right jaw. The victim's bruise was caused by hard pressure with the fingers. The murderer gripped the victim by... The murderer gagged the victim by gripping tightly. And... The penal murder took place in the daytime. The penal murder took place in the premises. The murderer moved Nicholas here. And Nicholas was strangled, Nicholas was poisoned, Nicholas was suffocated. Wow. Three. I don't have 3. Oh, this one. Oh, bother. Strangled? Aha! Alright, so this one is... There we go.
What do you think, Holmes?
No marks on the ground. The ground is muddy.
Oh, wait, 3. There's supposed to be 3, isn't there? So this is... No. 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 Uh-oh. Oh, boy. I must be missing something.
What shall we do, Holmes?
There's a clue.
The body was still warm.
Okay, the body was warm. Yeah, we got that.
There is a black bonnet near the left hand.
The bonnet, yes.
No signs of blood.
Aha! No traces of blood. The victim didn't have her throat slit while standing. Wasn't killed here. Dead before being stretched out and having her throat slit. Ha! Got it.
And so, Holmes? This spot is deserted, Holmes. The prostitutes only come here to exercise.
Is that another clue? Yes. Prostitutes looking to the street to exercise. Alright, so. Once all the facts on the right side of the screen have a green outline, your deduction work on the murder at hand will be over. Does that mean I have to have all these filled, though, is my question.
There is only one streetlight lit on this street, Watson, and this spot is particularly poorly lit. Well, Watson, we have found all of the possible clues, I think. We will now attempt to recreate the scene of the murder. Come closer, Watson. I have to make you up.
You are joking, Holmes?
What am I doing?
I feel ridiculous, Holmes.
Poor
Now,
Watson.
Watson, come and stand here in front of me. You shall play the role of the poor woman, and I shall play that of the murderer. Let's try to reconstruct the facts to ensure the final result corresponds indisputably to the way that Polly Nichols was killed.
Okay. Oh my goodness, what are we doing?
Yes, it's quite possible the events occurred like this.
Alright.
Yes, it's quite possible the events occurred like this.
Okay. Oh, paper. That cookie's... Ugh. That poor cookie is screaming in horror because you bit its head, but cookies sound delicious right now. Oh, I want some cookies. Alright, so now lying down, we go with the knife and go slice,
I hope
slice.
that, as with the real murder, nobody had to witness all of that, Watson. If the murderer used his right hand astride his victim, there wasn't much room.
River, is this safe for YouTube with Holmes on top? I hope so. Alright, so let me see. The deduction. Poorly lit street. The victim wasn't cold. The victim was holding her bonnet in her hand at the time of the murder. The victim was asking for alms. The victim wasn't afraid. The victim collected the bonnet from the ground. Nicholas wasn't cautious. Nicholas didn't have a bonnet. Nicholas had her bonnet in her hand and was ready to exercise. Ha! Okay, and the murderer was standing in front of the victim to strangle her. The killer's right hand prevented the victim from screaming. There was relations of standing up. The killer's left hand prevented the victim from screaming. The killer strangled the victim with his right hand. Kills both hands. The killer strangled the victim with his left hand. With his right. Maybe? Left hand was on the mouth, right hand was on the throat. So yeah, he was strangling with the right hand. Okay. Okay.
The murderer had enough room to inflict the wounds to the neck, and these wounds suggest the left hand was used.
Ha! Strangle. Slice.
My dear Watson, now that we have found all of our clues, nothing remains but to subject them to our most likely hypotheses in order to deduce the facts.
The facts, Watson. And the murderer is sitting on the victim, knife in the left hand. The killer is left-handed. Oh. The killer had two knives. The murderer is right-handed or left-handed. Strong man. Two knives? Big man. Not a woman. Strong man. It's not left-handed. Not right-handed. Had two knives. It's not right either. What the devil? The killer strangled the victim with his right hand. Oh, brother. Drat. That's all the help it'll give me is telling me I'm wrong. Great. So, throat was slit from left to right. Left to right. Does that mean the killer's...
Let's hurry, Holmes. This neighborhood makes me ill at ease.
Okay, so this is... left to right. Kissing the victim with his right hand. Oh. Drat. What am I getting wrong? We have all of the... We have everything. Let me check. Okay. Okay. Strong man, yes. Okay, so the killer's left hand prevented the victim from screaming. Yes. The bruise was caused by hard pressure with fingers. The murderer... Is murderer right or left-handed? Oops. Let's see. The killer strangled the victim with his right hand. There we got
The
it
victim was
finally.
most probably dead before being laid down. Once the heart stopped, gravity drained the body slowly, not in a heavy spurt that would have stained half the street.
Thank you, Holmes. I understand why you told me not to change clothes. Do you realize that our behavior didn't alarm anyone?
The victim's ordeal was even more discreet. By acting in silence, we have confirmed something. The crime definitely took place here. The victim and her murderer were able to come here without making any noise, and afterwards the murder took place without the slightest cry being uttered. Come, Watson, let's go home. We have spent far too long in this sinister alley.
Agreed.
And
Paper...
so, my dear Watson,
Is that a
the
snake?
day and night which
Oh,
we passed in
dinosaur.
Whitechapel were enlightening, weren't they?
An adventure that I most certainly will never relate. To be in the skin of that poor woman. I prefer not to speak of it further. But have we really learned anything about the murderer? Obviously a man, given the necessary strength.
We have little to go on, at least no more than the police. But in my opinion, Inspector Aberline has a trick or two up his sleeve. No, I want to talk about the facts and what we can draw from them. We know where the crime was committed and under what conditions. I would like to ask you about the possible motives for the crime. According to you, Watson, what could have pushed the murderer to act in such a way?
What? What could have been the possible motives for the crime? The revenge, love, theft, madness, black magic. No and yes. Oh. What am I doing? So I gotta put these here. I guess? Yes? Yes. Oh, there's a reset button. Good. The victim suffered horrific mutilations. Madness.
Homicidal insanity, Holmes.
It is indubitable that the man who did this to Polly Nichols is not of his full senses.
Is that a toad paper? A little toad emote? Credible motive, even if it's a field that Sherlock doesn't know. The victim was an occasional prostitute without family or ties. The victim lived in misery. Resentment can lead to irreparable acts.
Revenge, Holmes?
Revenge could be a possible motive, but with one small reservation. We have reason to believe that the victim considered her murderer to be a typical client.
River, black magic. Well, it's the first, second game all over again. Yes. Back to that black magic. Lived in misery, I guess, would be...
Theft, perhaps.
I have a hard time believing that someone would attack poor Polly so fiercely just to rob her of a few coins.
Okay. So what are these? Okay, we're done on the deduction board. Conclusions. Oh, very cool. Okay. What? Oh, little ghost boys, it looks like. Criminal motive.
Black magic?
I'm not terribly interested in the occult or black magic. Let's give the benefit of the doubt to this motive.
And
A
this.
personal drama.
Love can certainly lead to many a drama, but we have to consider the fact that the victim didn't know her attacker.
I don't know what I'm doing now. You must make conclusions based on the observations and the facts revealed during the course of the investigation. The facts deduced during the murder investigations will appear directly in the center. Others will be available on the left side of the screen. Click on an observation and position it in one of the spaces in the center box containing an arrow. Appear on the screen. By clicking on an arrow, 3 possible deductions will display. You must choose one. Once all the conclusions from the right have a green outline. Yes, okay, we've read this already. This doesn't really help me any, but okay.
Well, we are still missing certain information in order to finish this investigation, Watson.
What are we doing, Holmes? Homicidal insanity, Holmes.
It is indubitable that the man who did this to Polly Nichols is not of his full senses.
Okay.
Theft, perhaps.
I have a hard time believing that someone would attack poor Polly so fiercely just to rob her of a few coins.
Revenge, Holmes?
Revenge could be a possible motive, but with one small reservation. We have reason to believe that the victim considered her murderer to be a typical client.
Black magic?
I'm not terribly interested in the occult or black magic.
A personal drama?
Love can certainly lead to many a drama, but we have to consider the fact that the victim didn't know her attacker.
Alright, so... I'm just looking.
Elementary.
There we go.
Very well, Watson. I think that we've exhausted the topic. Take a rest and we'll speak again later.
Ah, it would seem that the investigation is advancing, Holmes. Yesterday's Star said that a suspect is in the hands of the police, a man with a rather sinister reputation.
I was about to join you in your optimistic outlook until you informed me that the good news came from the press, Watson.
But surely they wouldn't invent the fact that the police are holding a suspect, or the acts that are attributed to him.
You will have an exact answer to these 2 questions in less than 50 seconds, Watson.
Pardon?
Enter, Inspector.
Good day.
Hello?
Dear Watson, allow me to introduce Inspector Aberline, Inspector Dr. Watson.
Inspector?
To what do we owe the honor of your presence, Inspector?
I heard that the two of you made your way to Whitechapel a few days ago. Your arrival, you are aware, coincides with a very serious affair which our police service is going to great lengths to solve and which is creating strong tensions in the area.
Pardon me, but haven't you arrested someone? A certain Leather Apron?
Absolutely not. The man who hides behind this name is indeed being actively searched for by the force. Besides, nothing at the moment suggests that he is the Bucks Row murderer.
There, you've been enlightened, Watson. Now it is our turn to answer Inspector Aberline's questions.
Indeed. I will be brief and precise. Do you intend to investigate this case, or have you already started?
It is to be of service to a friend that I went to Whitechapel. We did, out of curiosity, familiarize ourselves with the preliminary reports, and we made our way to the scene of the crime. Our conclusions are slim, as are the clues. Having not been officially appointed by a client, I believe that my intervention in this business will end there.
Very well. To be frank, you take the weight off my shoulders by distancing yourself from the case. Our image isn't very good, to say nothing of what the press puts us through. Thus, if overnight they found out that you were on the case, people would turn against us.
And they would pest me, overwhelm me, and finally make me out to be responsible for the inevitable failure such a scenario entails. Neither you nor I wish for this to happen. I know that your time is precious, Inspector. I will send you a note regarding my conclusions shortly.
With pleasure.
River, well, that was a short
Gentlemen.
game. Yes, we're done.
Do
Haha.
you think that he will find the murderer?
The chances are slim to non-existent. It is 7 days now, short of a confession from the murderer himself.
And you will not go further?
You heard the Inspector, Watson. My presence in Whitechapel would hinder, which doesn't mean that we will drop the case.
How is that?
The Inspector spoke of me, but not of us. It is you, Watson, who will lead the investigation tonight.
Oh.
It is you who will bring to the police station the little note that I will write regarding our conclusions. Despite the late hour, there is nothing to stop you from making inquiries about this famous leather apron while you are there.
You control Dr. Watson. Haha. Okay. The leather apron. Yeah, that's the article about that. Okay. Well, hey, Holmes.
What? You still haven't left for Whitechapel, Watson?
Sorry, Holmes. I'm on my way. Also, why do you never wear this hat, Holmes?
Well, if I follow Holmes's instructions, then to begin my investigation into this leather apron, I must first head to the police station.
Ho 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 ho. Hello again.
Good evening, sir. What do you... I know you. You were here last week with Sherlock Holmes.
Indeed, I have come to bring a message from Sherlock Holmes for Inspector Aberline.
Very well, I will pass it on. But come to think of it, someone was asking about you recently. Finley, the caretaker of some shady boarding house nearby. Does that mean anything to you?
Ah, perhaps. Actually, I read in the Star that you have arrested a suspect called Leather Apron.
You shouldn't believe what you read in that rag, sir. The man is being hunted, but we have yet to get our hands on him, and we aren't close to it either.
Why ever not?
Bah, he's a specialist in the streetwalker racket. These girls make pitiful witnesses, and we don't inspire confidence. Furthermore, the man seems to be pretty discreet lately. Someone must be helping to hide him.
How to get on his trail, then?
One of these girls would have to confide in us and give a valid description of the man. Then we'd ask around the journeymen, who use aprons, I imagine.
Well, goodbye. I must go to Finley's boarding house.
To the boarding house.
I must go to Finley's boarding house.
I'm here.
Good
Hey.
evening, Finley.
Oh, good evening, sir. Aren't you the gentleman who was with the great detective the other time?
That is indeed me, Dr. Watson. Tell me, Finley, I was told that you were looking for us at the police station.
Indeed, I wanted to thank you for last time, you know. That vagrant has never set foot round mine again. I even found a tenant, one who pays his rent, I mean.
You don't seem very happy, but you were lucky to have found a good tenant so quickly.
It's just that this man is very strange.
Uh-oh.
He paid several days in advance and I gave him a key to the place. Since then, he goes out every night and returns at ungodly hours. I'm sure he goes to visit the ladies, but still, every night. And when he moved in, something must have broken in his case and stank up the stairs in his room for 2 days. I think it was a jar. It must be over there.
Tell me, have you heard talk of Leather Apron?
By the papers, that's all. This man seems very sinister.
Do you know any journeymen who use this type of apron?
The slaughterhouse butchers, I believe, but definitely the cobblers. I know one, old Isaac Solomonovich. His workshop is on a small street in the Jewish community, across from the hospital. He's a good man. He can help you. But you know, the people there are very close and don't share much with non-Jews.
Okay.
Thank you, Finley.
At your service, sir.
This odor is very strong indeed, but the whole neighborhood as such has a dreadful stench. Finley might have an idea as to what this jar that contained.
What do you want, Doctor?
You're right. The pieces of the jar that your tenant broke do give off a strange smell.
It's true. That's quite normal given his trade.
Yes, and what would the trade be of your strange tenant?
A doctor, like yourself, I believe. Dr. Tumblety, a foreigner. Canadian, perhaps.
Dr. Tumblety?
Tumblety?
It might be interesting to know more about him.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Finley.
At your service, sir.
At your service, sir. Nails. Ooh, don't sit there. Staining that door beautifully. Alright, so now... Now where?
Tell me, is it...
I'm on duty, sir.
Thanks, jerk. Just wanted to ask you a question. Scuff, 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 scuff. I haven't saved once this whole time. Whew. Riverly, raid every person who wears an apron. Even monsters might give you Ripper. Mothers. Monsters. Mothers. Well, there was a butcher shop around here somewhere. I remember seeing it.
Tell me, is it...
You should return home, sir.
Man, you're a real help.
I have no reason to go that way.
I have no reason to go that way.
I have nothing to ask.
Oh, she's breathing. It's like another dead woman. Oh, she's just passed out. It's fine. That's the church. Here. The butcher shop. I don't know how this is gonna help me. I wish there was a... Do this next. All right. Let's see. Done with all the deducing. Well, bollocks.
No, it would be better not to insist.
What are you looking for? Chicks? Opium? Girl? Sailor?
I have no reason to go that way.
Fine. Nightpaper, new task. Uninstall the game and play scary games.
A cobbler's shop.
Here we go.
Closed. I will return later. The policeman said the street girls would know something about the leather apron. Maybe I should go and see Lucy.
Lucy? Dun-dun. Lucy.
Oh, it's you. I'm coming. Dr. Watson, how are you?
Well, and yourself? And how's your uncle?
Oh, he sleeps a lot, but he doesn't seem to be suffering. Your medicine has worked wonders. Thank you again.
It was the least I could do. I have come to see you about a certain Leather Apron. Have you heard of him?
Oh, yes, of course. Terrible things are said about that man.
Have you ever come across him?
Goodness gracious, no. But I know that he has threatened and taken many girls in my situation. I don't know what more I can say, but Bella will be able to tell you some.
Who's Bella?
Who is Bella?
Bella Pullman. She's the landlady of the place where I could take you there if you like.
Please do.
It's me. It's Lucy. This gentleman would like to speak to Bella. It's the doctor who helped me. I must leave to return to my uncle. Thanks again.
Okay.
Out of the way, I don't like the look of you.
Oh. Jerk. Oh, jeez.
Can I get a refill, please?
If you'd be patient, Madam Bella will arrive in a moment.
Good evening. I am Dr. Watson. It is young Lucy who told me to come see you.
Ah, so you're the Good Samaritan who saved her uncle without asking for anything in return. And now you've come to see me, no doubt, to explain that the poor little thing doesn't belong here, and you will see to her future. Well, if you expect me to let her leave with you...
It's not that, Ma'am. You should know I am a married man.
And why should that matter?
I believe there has been a misunderstanding. The reason that Lucy sent me here is that you may be able to give me some information about Leather Apron.
Are you a doctor or a constable?
I am most certainly a doctor, but I am acting in this matter in a private capacity, and I would like to find this man.
Well, if you're able to rid us of him, I'll give you a week's worth of free passes. That man is a thorn in our sides.
Oh.
He spies on the girls in the streets and watches them inside the houses, spying through the windows.
Creep.
And as soon as they're finished with a client, he jumps on them without any warning and forces them to give him their money. I've never seen him, but one of my girls was attacked by this man, and she said that he wore a leather apron and carried a knife. And his face, oh, he has a horrible head with rat's eyes and a deformed mouth. She even said that she knew his name, Pizer or Pizer, I think. But I don't know where she can be found. Margie, Nutcracker, the girl I'm talking about, could tell you more, but I had to let her go last week.
I don't want to know why her nickname's Nutcracker.
Why did you let Margie go?
The poor girl caught a shameful sickness, and the symptoms have attacked her face, if you know what I mean.
Oh.
So I gave her notice, and a little bit to help her along. I don't know where she is now, but she'll certainly be getting treatment at the clinic if she's still in the neighbourhood.
Did you speak to the police?
What would they do? Who cares about the girls in the streets?
Would you have received a visit from another doctor, a stranger by the name of Tumblety?
I'm just like you, Doctor, sworn to secrecy in my profession. But as I've taken a fancy to you, I can tell you that this name is not unknown to me. And if you do me a little favour, it is possible I might remember something about him.
Would you have received
Dang.
a visit? What kind of favour must I do for you?
You see that man over there? He's a rich artist, a painter, a regular client round here. Well, yesterday, he came and left his cane in the umbrella stand in the hall before going into one of the rooms. Well, when he returned to this room, the cane had disappeared. It's a cane with a massive silver knob. Must be worth a fortune. He threatened to call the police unless he got free services in my establishment for a year. I'll be forced to accept, unwillingly, of course, given the services that he's demanding, unless the cane is found.
Did you question the residents regarding the theft?
They didn't see anything, and there's not one of them that would risk stealing from a client here.
Who was in the room when your weasel of a client was in the chambers?
There were a few that came and went, but Mary could tell you better than I can, because she was the one at the counter yesterday.
Thank you, ma'am.
No problem, my angel.
Wow, the ambient sounds in here.
Best not to stray off in that direction.
Right?
What happened to this rug?
Oh, it's when we got a coal yesterday. I asked the young man to fill the pail. He came back to put it down, but his feet were covered in soot and he made a black print. Madam Bella said it was my fault and I got a shilling's penalty. I also have to clean the print and it's no picnic. He has immense feet, that boy.
Huh.
I heard that there was a theft yesterday. Did you see anything?
No, and I was here the whole time.
Who delivers the coal?
It's never the same person. I've never seen that lad before.
Do you always keep an eye on the coat stand?
Oh, yes. Well, when the coal delivery came, a client came out of the chambers and stopped me from seeing the boy who brought the bucket of coal. You don't think he would have taken advantage?
Until next time, miss.
With pleasure, sir.
Best not to stray off in that direction. Best not to stray off in that direction.
Yes, Dr. Watson?
Thank you, ma'am.
No problem, my angel.
These paintings are suggestive, at the very least. These paintings are suggestive, at the very least.
At the very least. So now I gotta figure out who delivered the coal and oh boy. Oh, alright. Let's see. Save. Alright. Yes. Let's see. Brothel. Lucy's cup. Ta 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 ta. Oh, bother. Alright, let me...
Out of the way, I don't like the look of you.
Jerk.
Tell me, is it...
Come, please. It's quick and it don't cost much. And I'm cold.
Wow. Alright, well, I'm kind of at a loss. And... I also... let's see, let's save and overwrite that one. Okay. So, I think I'll actually stop it here. So that I can... Without the help option, it's a little annoying. But I'm going to stop it here. We'll resume next week. I'm going to kind of look and see if I can find a hint guide that isn't a blatant walkthrough so that I can at least have some breadcrumbs that I can reference, like the last couple of games with the little question mark help thing that we had in-game. Because it's just way too easy to just go to the walkthrough and go, this is exactly what to do. Got it. Paper, yeah, sleep. Yeah, paper, sleep. So, I'll see if I can't find myself a little hint guide, and we'll continue this next Wednesday. Otherwise, I will be back on Friday with more Minecraft Story Mode Season 2, and I'll also be back on next Monday with more Detroit Become Human. It's starting to get interesting. River, it was fun, and stay safe out there. Thank you, River. Otherwise, if you want to get caught up on any of my past streams, hit my YouTube channel up. All the streams get archived over there. And I'm not even going to bother looking to see if there's someone to raid, because there probably isn't. So I'll just end it here. Thank you all for being here. I hope to see you again next time. And until then, as always, please stay safe out there.